Let us start. So today we will start with the verse 12. Last time we finished with the verse, completed verses 9, 10, 11. So a similar pattern of three more verses about earlier verses were about Vidya. These verses are about religion. Okay, so we'll start with the Mangala Charan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Summarupatadameyam Dadate Swapadantitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamshram Shri Rupam Satyam Saganaragunadam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parajana Satyam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shadam Krishna Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shri Bhakti Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Navacharane Visesha Shri Bhashya Charavani Namama Dinya Krishna Padaya Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Lalita Krishna Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vindavani Shri Shabam Jitadevi Purnamani Hari Pancha Kalpaka Nitishya Prakasa Vidabhya Vichara Sritami Pavnibhyo Vishnu Vibhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. You can all chant along with me. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Sushyate Ishavasyanidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bunjita Kritapashya Siddhanam. Okay. So today someone wants to read. Someone.
I read Prabhuji.
Yes, bro. Okay, thank you. So I'll tell you. So last two classes we studied the verses of 9, 10, 11. So they talk about uh, wrong knowledge and wrong knowledge in the name of education. That is what the 9th verse talks about. Wrong knowledge is definitely dangerous, but wrong knowledge in the name of education is more dangerous. And the 10th verse talks about wrong knowledge and transcendental knowledge. And the 11th verse talks about transcendental knowledge as well as material knowledge, useful material knowledge. So both are needed, and we need to have a balance. So now the 12th and 13th, 14th, those verses are also similar, but they talk about so they talk about Sambhuti and Asambhuti. It's similar, a little near word is religion. So we will, yeah. So first we'll start with reciting 12th verse. Proji, you can repeat after me. Only you. Andam
Yes, sir.
pravishanti
Andam tam pravishanti.
ye ye asambhuti pasate
E asambhuti pasate.
tatho bhuya iva te tamo
ततो भूय इव ते तमो
या उ सम्भूत्यं रता.
य उ संयुक्तं मृता.
Okay, thank you. So the translation is, those who are engaged in the worship of demigods enter into the darkest region of ignorance, and still more so do the worshippers of the impersonal absolute. So now these three verses speak about, in broad way, religion in broad sense, which is like putting the knowledge into practice, putting vidya into practice. If you see the ninth verse, also it's like andam tamah pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Here what is there? Andam tamah pravishanti ye asambhutim upasate. Then it says tato bhuya eva te tamo ya u vidhyayam ratah. So just the third line is almost same. Tato bhuya eva te tamo ya u sambhutim ratah. So only two words in one sense have changed. That's it. Okay. So the word asambhuti means those who have no independent existence, and sambhuti means the absolute personality of Godhead, who is absolutely independent of everything. So he's also called as Swarat and Sarva Karana Karana. So in this verse, asambhuti refers to demigod worship, and sambhuti refers to worship of impersonal Brahman. The purport initially, Prabhupada talks about how demigods are subordinate to God and have incomplete conception of God. Okay. Rosie, you can start reading the Sanskrit word.
The Sanskrit word asambhuti refers to those who have no independent existence. Sambhuti is the absolute personality of Godhead, who is absolutely independent of everything. In the Bhagavad Gita 10.2, the absolute personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, states,
Okay, I'll read. Name vidusuragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adir hi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasha.
neither the host of the demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of demigods and sages. Thus, Krishna is the origin of powers. He delegates to demigods, great sages, and mystics. Although they are endowed with the great powers, these powers are limited, and thus it is very difficult for them to know how Krishna himself appears by his own eternal potency in the form of a man.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now you can take around 3 minutes and you can come with some examples where demigods forgot Krishna or Vishnu as Supreme Lord. Yeah. And then sages and mystics forgot Krishna or Vishnu as Supreme Lord. So you can think and then we'll discuss. Okay, so for first question, demigods and
Can I
raise
answer,
hands.
Prabhuji? Can I
Yeah,
answer?
yeah. Anyone else
Uh,
wants to raise hand? Okay, okay.
can I answer?
Yes, yes, bro. Yes, bro. Only one you can
Uh,
tell.
Indra forgot Lord Krishna as a supreme personality of Godhead,
Hmm.
and Brahmaji also
Oh,
forgot Lord
okay,
Krishna.
okay, take it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
take Indra and Govardhan Lila and Brahmaji and Brahma Lila. Okay.
Brahma.
Yes, Raj Prabhu, you have any other example?
Hare
Yes,
Krishna Prabhuji.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, actually, I have the same.
Okay, okay,
So,
take it. No problem. That's okay. Okay, then you want to tell for second, just a minute. You want to tell for second one? Okay, for second one. Okay, Shrikant Pro, you can tell. Yes.
So for the first one, can we say Varun Dev, or when the Lord Ram was looking at
Uh,
the ocean and got
Lord
angry,
Ram, what is the past one?
like when he got angry at the ocean.
Yeah, that is there, and also about Mother Parvati's example also there with Lord Ram. Yes. Mm.
And for
But
second,
yeah, Varun Dev, I think, is not exactly because it's not with Krishna, it is with Nanda Maharaj. So it's okay. Okay, first, second one, you can tell.
second one was Shukracharya when Bali Maharaj embarked.
Kuracha. Okay. Uh, no, in that Shukracharya, actually, he knows he is Vishnu. So that's why he doesn't want him to surrender.
Right.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other example?
Yashoda Mai Prabhuji.
No, no. This is not about Yogamaya covering. We want like Mahamaya. Covering, it's not about devotees.
Okay, Prabhuji. So the Sanatan Goswami.
No, Sanatan Goswami. No. See, second one, sages and mystics forgot Krishna or Vishnu as Supreme Lord. So you're telling about Madan Mohan? No, 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 not that.
No, that he was asking for the salt and all. That, no.
I understand. I also thought, but see, these are all in Yoga Maya. So this is not that. Okay, one example is of Bhrigu Muni. So when he wants to test, first means the question is only who is Supreme Lord, means that shows that those sages were not clear who is the Supreme Lord. So, and they wanted to test the three predominant demigods or gods. So that is one occasion. Okay, Yashraj Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Actually, there is one story in the Gaur Leela where is one sage come to the house of and Shachimata, and he offered the food to the Lord. And after and every time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and eat his prasad, and
Yeah.
he always say, "Why Nimai? Why are you doing this?"
See, again, this is a devotee. So this is
Okay.
again under Yogamaya, not under Mahamaya. You can also say Durvasa Muni in one sense because he he doesn't he offends Ambarish Maharaj. He goes to Vaikuntha. There, it's clear that he's not aware that he is Supreme Lord. So that is there. In one sense, he's ignorance. So that is one thing. Okay. So these examples show that. Okay. So these examples demonstrate that how the potencies of demigods are limited and they are not they are not superior to the potency of Lord. So that's why they forgot how means how Lord's they forgot about that how Krishna is Lord, Supreme Lord. When Lord descends into this earthly planet, they could not recognize him. So that shows that the potency of the Lord is more than their own potencies. It's very much both in Govardhan Leela also we see that how Krishna protects the Vrajavasis from the rains and thunders of Indra, and Brahma only gets confused whether he kidnapped the original cowherd boys or some other cowherd boys, all those things. Roji, you can continue reading many philosophers and great rishis.
Many philosophers and great rishis or mystics try to distinguish the absolute from the relative by their tiny brain power. This can only help them reach the negative conceptions of the absolute
Without realizing any positive trace of the absolute.
positive trace of the absolute. Definition of the absolute by negation is not complete. Such negative definitions lead one to create a concept of one's own. Thus, one imagines that the absolute must be formless and without qualities. Such negative qualities are simply the reversal of relative material qualities and are therefore also relative. By conceiving of the absolute in this way, one can at the most reach the impersonal effulgences of God known as Brahman, but one cannot make further progress to Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, yeah, so here Prabhupada is talking about the negation or the negative conception of the absolute. You can take whoever tells first. So, among the 4, 5, and 8 verses of Ishopanishad, which verse describes the absolute truth through negation? Through negation or negative conception of the absolute. Whoever.
Can you show the 4th, 5th, and 8th verses?
I cannot show. You can refer in your mobile or something.
Fifth verse.
5th verse. How?
It creates a lot of confusion that Lord walks, but he does not walks.
No, but that is not negative conception. No? That is you're describing it through contradictions. That we have discussed, like why it is done that way and all. Means even in spiritual also there is a description like by contradictions. No? Whether Krishna ate the dirt, he did not eat. So like all these things. Okay, anyone else?
So 8.
Okay, 8th how? You have to explain how it is. Okay, Yashras bro, content. Yes, bro.
God's eternal quality. Eternal qualities is there.
Okay, take it. Okay, Yashras bro, you can tell.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Actually, what is the exactly question? I didn't understand.
It's negative conception. Okay, negative conception means not like this, not this, not this. It's like that.
Okay, niti niti type.
Yeah, something like that. The meaning will come like that. The words may not be exactly like that. There are some qualities of Lord described in that way. Okay.
Unembodied.
Yeah, there is a 8 verse.
Yes. Okay, correct. Okay, both are correct. Yeah, 8th verse has that. Thank you. So, so the truth to negation is if you say somebody, okay, describe Bill Gates to somebody else. You know, if you somebody says he's not black, he's not short, he does not wear spectacles, and he doesn't go naked. So then it becomes it is a right description, but it's not a complete description. If somebody gives this description, then uh, it may be like, no, Bill Gates may be black, Bill Gates may be white, Bill Gates may be brown. Okay, he's not wearing specs. So is he wearing sunglasses or he's not wearing anything? No, these things are not clear. So the same thing, like relative description of absolute truth, is as you told, that it is not the description, the words like akayam, ashnaviram, apapaviddam, or the other words like nirguna. No, akayam means what? He does not have material body. But what he has, whether he has a body or he doesn't have a body. Then veins, he doesn't have veins. Okay, then what is the body made of? That is not there. Or is there a body? So that is not. No, he's not touched by sin. Okay, then what does he do? How he does not touch sin? So all these things. So these are like our body is also temporary thing. And that's why it is called a relative. And the akayam, ashnaveram means even this veins also. Veins also, it's a relative existence. When the material universe is unmanifested at the time of pralaya, then this kind of description of the absolute truth doesn't make so much sense. So it's not it's not a description based on eternality of the absolute truth, etc. So how these kind of conceptions will lead to speculation. So even in Bible and Islam also, only these kind of descriptions are there. Majority, or you can say 95, 99%. So then they have this, this image of God. Christian. So this is the Christian. He has a beard. He takes a scepter and punishes everyone. So and sits on a throne. And Islamic conception is God should not be described. So this is this much only. This is Allah written in Arabic. So this is the issue if there is only negative description. So it leads to speculation. And these kind of forms are never described in Bible, but they conjectured all these things based on what our negative description is given. So the positive okay, Shrikant, question?
Yes, Prabhu. Like we understand negative descriptions don't describe completely the Lord, but what is the reason for giving these negative descriptions?
Yeah, we have discussed also before. It's relevant, means the people can relate to those things better, no? Because again, these are Upanishads. So Upanishads means the people are very detached. They're already skeptical about the material world. So now you cannot give a description of God which appears somewhat similar to material world. So they give these kind of descriptions. And they want also some food for speculation or contemplation, you can say. Okay, so this Brahma Samhita prayers, no, we sing every day. No, Venum Kwanantam Aravinda Dalaya Taksham Bhardhavatam Samasitam Vidasundarangam Kandarbakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tam Bhajami. So in this, it's very nicely described. No? Venum Kwanantam, the Lord holds a flute. Aravinda Dalaya Taksham, his eyes are like lotus petals. Barhavatam Sam, he has a peacock feather. Asitam Buddha Sundarangam, so his forehead is like a cloud, means it's like a sky in the cloud. It's like a cloud in the sky. And Gandharva Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham, he's very charming and enchants so many lakhs of millions of cubits. So this is a very direct positive description of the Lord. Okay, I hope this is clear. Yes, pros you can read such mental speculators.
Such mental speculators do not know that the absolute personality of Godhead is Krishna, that the impersonal Brahman is the glaring effulgence of his transcendental body, or that the Paramatma, the super soul, is his all-pervading planetary representation. Nor do they know that the Krishna has his eternal form, which it transcendental, which with
With
its
its
transcendental qualities of eternal bliss and knowledge. The dependent demigods and great sages imperfectly consider him to be a powerful demigod, and they consider Brahman effulgences to be the absolute truth. But the devotee of Krishna, by the dint of their surrendering unto him in unalloyed devotion, can now can know that he is the absolute person and that everything emanates from him. Such a devotees continuously render loving service unto Krishna, the
the
unfountain
fountainhead,
head, sorry, is the
the
fountainhead
fountain.
of everything.
Okay,
Fountainhead
just
of
a minute.
everything.
Yeah. So yeah, the demigods, all the demigods, they derive their power from Krishna, means Vishnu, means. So they derive their power, and they are dependent, means they are temporary, like different condition souls occupy their post. So here that verse is also there where Krishna tells this thing. Name vidussuragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham adir hi devana. I am I am the origin of all demigods. Krishna is the origin of all powers delegated to demigods. Maharshinam cha sarvasha. That's right. So, okay. Now, he also, Krishna also, now Prabhupada talks about the futility of demigod worship. Yes, Prabhuji, you can read in the Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita 7.20-23, it is said that only unintelligent, bewildered person driven by a strong desire for sense gratification, worship the demigods for temporary relief of temporary problems. Since the living being is materially entangled, he has to be relieved from the material bondage entirely to attain permanent relief on the spiritual plane, where eternal bliss, life, and knowledge exist. Sri Isopanishad therefore instructs that we should not seek temporary relief of our difficulties by worshipping the dependent demigods who can bestow only temporary benefits. Rather, we must worship the absolute personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is all attractive and who can bestow upon the complete freedom from material bondage by taking us back home, back to Godhead.
Okay.
It is stated
Yeah,
in
just a
Bhagavad.
minute.
Sure.
Yeah, so no, here's Prabhupada, this is a nice way of putting it, temporary relief of temporary problems. Yeah, what demigods offer, they actually don't solve the problem of the permanent problem of birth, death, old age, and disease. They may give some temporary relief from some health problem, or they may solve some financial problem. But again, the problem will come again in some other way. So that way it is only temporary relief to temporary problems. And these demigods are also dependent demigods, and their benefit is only temporary. But the worship of Krishna, it is a permanent investment and gives permanent happiness. Yes, project can continue.
It is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 7.23 that the worshipper of the demigods can go to the planets of demigods. The moon worshipper can go to the moon, the sun worshipper to the sun, etc. Modern scientists are now venturing to the moon with the help of rockets, but this is not really a new attempt. With their advanced consciousness, human beings are naturally inclined to travel in outer space and to reach other planets, either by spaceships, mystic power, or demigod worship. In the Vedic scriptures, it is said that one can reach other planets by any one of these three ways, but the most common way is by worshipping the demigod presiding over a particular planet. In this way, one can reach the moon planet, the sun planet, and even Brahmaloka. The topmost planets in this universe, however, all planets in the material universe are the temporary residences. The only permanent planets are the Vaikunthas. These are found in the spiritual sky where the personality of Godhead himself predominates.
Predominates.
As Lord Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita 8.16,
Yeah, continue.
Abrahma Bhuvan Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna Mama Upatteyu Kaunteya Punarjanamna Vidyate. From the
Yes.
highest planets in the material world down to the lower, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and deaths take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again.
Just a
See,
minute.
Ishopan-
Just a minute. Yeah.
Sure.
So here Prabhupada is saying that they are temporary residences. So just like if you go to some outstation place, we may have to rent a room in a hotel or something. So to the extent whatever rent we pay, only to that extent we are allowed to stay there. So similarly, the heavenly places, whatever pious credits we have, only till they get exhausted, we are allowed to stay there. After that, one has to again come back to the earth plan. And it is also said that once so this is about, means in the Swarga, in the demigod planets, there are demigods and there are people who reside in those places. So they are like citizens. So the demigods, they are like the kings of those places. And from there, they control the universal affairs. But there are also many people residing in the Swarga planets. So here who they are being referred to. So once somebody's pious credits are over, they are taken down to the earth. So how it's described also like they are consumed by some yakshas, and then they form in the form of rain, and through rain they enter into grains, and then they enter the womb of some other people, and then they are born as human beings. And also here there is interplanetary travel by spaceships. Spaceships, we see example of Chitraketu. No, he's flying in a plane as a king of Vidyadhara along with Vidyadhara woman, and is traveling between different places. And even in Ramayana also, that Pushpak Viman, that is also there. Then there is mystic powers. Mystic powers like Narad Muni and all, they travel. They don't need any plane, or they don't need to worship even demigods. They have their mystic powers. They can travel like that. And then there is demigod worship. So one can worship a demigod, and one wants to go to that particular planet. So they perform sacrifices, like different types of sacrifices by which they can go to different types of planets. Okay. Rojas, you can continue. Sri Ishopanishad.
Yeah, Sri Isopanishad points out that one who worships the demigods and attends to their material planets will still remain in the darkest region of the universe. The whole universe is covered by the gigantic material elements. It is just like a coconut covered by a shell and half filled with water. Since its covering is airtight, the darkness within is dense, and therefore the sun and the moon are required for illumination. Outside the universe is the vast and unlimited Brahma Jyoti expansion, which is filled with Vaikuntha Lokas. The biggest and the highest planet in the Brahma Jyoti is Krishna Loka or Golok Vrindavan, where Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna himself, resides. Lord Sri Krishna never leaves Krishna Loka, although he dwells there with his eternal associates. He is omnipresent throughout the complete material and spiritual cosmic manifestations. This fact has already been explained in mantras,
In the mantra 4.
mantras 4, mantra 4. The Lord is present everywhere, just like the sun, yet he is situated in one place, just as the sun is situated in its own undwelling orbit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Guruji.
Yeah. So in the mantra 4, it is, yeah, explain. He stays at one place, but he controls everything. So that is what is being referred to. So just a minute, maybe I'll try to get the picture of universe. Yeah, so here we see the picture of the universe. So this is like an egg-shaped, and it is half filled with water. Yeah. And on the water, this what to propose this. What's it? Yeah, so there is half filled with water, and on that there is Garbhodaka ocean is there, and on that Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, he is there, and from his navel this universe comes, and on that from his navel, on the top of the navel, Brahmaji sits, and then so then navel is there, and then there are different planetary systems. But okay, so yes, so this is dark. So especially the middle planetary systems, the Bhurloka, Bhuvarloka, and Bhuloka. Yeah, the Bhuloka and Bhuvarloka. So these planets are especially illuminated by sun, and also Swargaloka. Uh, the Maharloka and all, they are illuminated in a separate way. And these lower planetary systems, Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Talatal, Mahatal, Vasatal, Patal, they are illuminate. They're majorly dark, but there are also their serpents are there. On their hoods, there will be some diamonds and some gems. Through that, they are also given light. So in that way, but if we see the spiritual world, it is fully effulgent because of the Brahma Jyoti. Like as we have sun in the material world, but it's only limited. But there is Brahma Jyoti, which is, the sun is like, it rises again, goes away and all. But this Brahma Jyoti is the self-effulgence of the Lord, and that illuminates the entire spiritual world. So in that way, this is called as tamas, and this is called as light, means tamasoma jyotirgama, we say like that. So that is one way of saying that if we just worship demigods, we will be just stuck in this place, and we will be blind to that place. So that way, it is appropriate to say that you will only be in the tama if you will worship demigods. Bro, we have some questions, Shrikant bro.
Yes, Guruji.
Yeah.
Because we understand that by worshipping demigods will remain in this planetary system itself and dark vision. But for impersonal is also this verse says that more they'll be in the darkest region.
Yeah. So that we are going to discuss.
Okay.
We are coming to that. Don't worry. So first we are going to discuss this. Yeah. So as we told, like on the earth, if somebody does demigod worship, especially through yajnas and all, as described in the Vedas. So this we are talking about right bona fide demigod worship as per the Vedas. So then they may attain planets like Svarga and all. And once their again pious credits got exhausted, then again they'll come back to earth. So some few classes back I showed you that chart. No? If you keep a pond of water on a road, you will go to this planet. If you keep a pond of water in a desert, you will go to that planet. So all these things. So like that, there are different things given in the Vedas. So one will be just rotating in this cycle, and he will be blind to the spiritual world. So he will be away from the spiritual world. So that way, anda tamaha pravishanti ye asambhuti upaste. So that way, if you worship demigods, you will remain in this material world, which is full of darkness. And another is you are ignorant of God and the spiritual world. So yeah. Now, if you see demigod worship, as proper described only in previously, we are just summarizing it. So it doesn't make us fully happy. Then it doesn't solve all the problems, all our problems. Then it's like the problems of birth, death, old age, disease, they remain. And many other problems also remain. And it doesn't make us fully happy, and we will also want some more things. The boons are also temporary. Again, you have to worship. Even whatever they give also, it remains temporary. And it is limited also. So that's why it doesn't make us fully happy. Then what it does, it increases material attachment. Whatever they give, if we take and enjoy that, we will want more. We may become temporarily happy, but we will also want more. Means it increases our material desires. Then also it takes us away from Krishna. So these things are there. So you can think of some examples of demigod worshippers. Demigod worshippers, they described in, means even demons also worship demigods. So you can quote with the example. So how they were not fully happy, how they had some many problems. The benedictions are temporary. Their material attachments have increased. They became averse to Krishna or his devotees because of those benedictions. You can think of, they are there in Bhagavatam, also Ramayana, Mahabharata, and some others also you can think of. Especially with Shiva and Brahmaji, like that. Okay. Okay, you can take around 4 minutes, then we will discuss. Okay. So for first one, oh, just a minute. Yes, bro, you can tell. Yes, Raj, bro, you can tell.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So first example is in the for first question, one not fully happy is Hiranyakashipu, because in the Bhagavatam, after the getting the benediction from Brahma, he also goes for the tapasya,
Mm.
because he want to be immortal, because he know that this benediction is not makes him fully immortal.
Mm, Not exactly. One thing is, yeah, he gets that benediction from Brahma only, that he should not be killed by this, by that, and all. At least I have not seen he goes to tapasya after that. But yeah, when he's challenged by Prahlad and all, he gets. Of course, that is like that comes in the second one. He was not fully happy, means still he's not satisfied. He wants to drink. He wants to do all those things. Means though having that benediction did not satisfy him, but still he wants to use his power to defeat people, to torture people. Then only he wants to derive satisfaction. Means he wants to kill Vishnu, because that desire he could not fulfill. So yeah, okay. He could